Deep inside an old forgotten classroom, a supply cabinet sat untouched for years. Dust coated every shelf, except for one tiny spot where something seemed to glow faintly. Curious, a young boy pushed the cabinet door open, the creak echoing through the empty room. And there, something unexpected waited for him. He reached inside and pulled out an object that felt strangely warm, almost alive. It was a pencil, simple, wooden, but softly glowing like it held a secret. Confused yet fascinated, he held it closer. The light pulsed gently as if acknowledging him. "What are you?" he whispered. He sat at a nearby desk and decided to test it. With a careful hand, he sketched a tiny bird, a simple drawing with quick strokes. The moment the pencil lifted from the page, the drawing shimmered, then peeled itself off the paper. Suddenly, the little bird flapped its wings and took flight around the classroom lights. The boy gasped, stumbling back as the creature chirped happily, circling him. Shock melted into pure excitement. His hands trembled, but not from fear, from possibility. He grabbed another sheet and drew a bouncy ball. Instantly, it sprang to life, thudding against tables, bouncing off walls and knocking papers into the air. A tiny, harmless tornado of laughter and movement filled the classroom. But this pencil wasn't just magical, it was powerful. As he examined it closely, a mysterious symbol carved on the wood began pulsing brighter, like it was awakening. Days passed, and each afternoon he returned, experimenting with small doodles. But one day, something unexpected happened. As he sketched a cute little monster for fun, it came to life, just like the others. But this one didn't stay put. It bolted toward the door. "Hey, wait!" he shouted. Before he knew it, the drawing sprinted into the hallway, out the door, and into the bustling city streets. Freedom had given the creature wild energy. He dashed after it, navigating crowded sidewalks, squeezing past pedestrians, and dodging cyclists. The chase led through intersections, across busy crossings, and into a giant shopping mall, where the creature turned everything into its playground. Shoppers screamed in surprise as the little monster hopped from counter to counter, pressing elevator buttons, poking vending machines, and sliding on polished floors. But despite the chaos, it wasn't dangerous, just incredibly playful. Finally, in the calm of the city park, both he and the creature paused, exhausted. He gently scooped it up. "All right, buddy," he whispered, smiling. "Time to go home." But the magic wasn't over. Far from it. That night, as moonlight spilled across his desk, the pencil began to move by itself. It rolled, then stood upright, drawing lines across the paper. It sketched a swirling circle. Then the circle began to glow, bright, intense, and alive. A portal. Before he could react, the spiral of light expanded, pulling papers, books, and then him. He grabbed the edge of the table, but the force was too strong. The portal swallowed him whole. Darkness, then light. He stumbled onto solid ground and found himself standing in a world unlike any he'd ever seen. Every building, tree, and cloud looked hand-drawn, sketched with thick outlines and colorful shading, a world made entirely of drawings. And in front of him, the pencil floated, glowing brighter than ever, guiding him deeper into this incredible realm. They journeyed through breathtaking landscapes, forests shaded in charcoal blues, mountains drawn in rough pencil strokes, rivers painted with watercolor textures. Every step confirmed the fantasy. This world was alive, but paradise rarely stands alone. "Welcome to the land of creation," a deep voice echoed, "where everything is drawn and can be erased." A dark figure emerged, a tall villain holding a glowing eraser. "That pencil you carry controls both worlds, and I must have it." "No way," the boy shouted. "You'll never take it." The chase began. Through the sketch forest where shadows leaned and twisted, across paper mountains that crumbled when touched by the villain's eraser, through ink rivers that shifted and swirled beneath their feet. He was losing ground. One strike from the eraser, and parts of the world dissolved around him. Hope was fading. Then suddenly, a familiar shape leapt out. The little monster from the city. Now friend, not runaway. It growled at the eraser-wielding villain and stood by the boy's side. Together, they dodge attacks, outsmart the villain, and push him back deeper into the drawn realm. But the villain wasn't finished. When the boy finally returned to the real world through the portal, something horrifying happened. The villain followed. The skies darkened as the figure stepped into the city, eraser glowing like burning fire. People panicked as buildings flickered with instability, lines fading where the villain touched. "He followed me. The city is in danger." There was only one thing left to do. With trembling hands but determined eyes, the boy raised the pencil. If drawings can protect, then let me draw the strongest protector of all. The pencil glowed with overwhelming power, brighter than ever before. He sketched quickly, lines sharp, bold, filled with courage and hope. As the final stroke hit the page, the drawing lifted and grew, towering above buildings. A titan, the guardian. It roared, stepping forward to defend the city. The ground shook as it confronted the villain. Light clashed with darkness. Sparks of graphite and eraser dust filled the air. The battle was fierce. Buildings trembled, streets cracked. The Guardian fought with every ounce of power the boy had poured into its creation. Then, gathering its final strength, the Guardian unleashed a sealing blow. Light erupted across the sky, the villain's eraser cracked, shattered, and the dark being was sealed away, pulled back into the sketch realm where it could harm no one again. Silence followed. The Guardian looked down at the boy, its eyes soft. Then its enormous body slowly faded into shimmering particles, returning to simple graphite and paper. The boy picked up the pencil. The glow was gone. Or was it? As he turned away, a faint pulse rippled through the wood, a whisper of magic, a promise. The story was not over. Not yet.